Focused. Hello, this is Rabbi Chaim Moshe from the Holy Land, and since we've read that the blessing of God is found specifically in the Holy Land, that the eyes of God are there in that land from the beginning of the year until the end of the year, and so this starts on Rosh Hashanah, since the focus of the world is on the Holy Land, the land of Israel, it's important to get a perspective on what's happening from somebody who actually lives there, who has served in the army, and has an opinion as to what is going on, what he hopes will happen, and what he thinks will happen. This is Aria Wolf, internationally well-known interviewee for French television. Aria Wolf.
Hello.
So how does an Israeli look at what's going on in the United Nations and the reaction of the world, and what is the reaction here at home?
Well, to say in Israeli is kind of an ambiguous thing. It's kind of like saying, how does an American feel about the war on Iraq? You know, you've got different opinions for here and for there. For myself, personally, as a person, I live beyond the Green Line and surrounded by Palestinian villages and Palestinian workers working in the settlement that I live in all the time. We even have workers personally working for us doing renovations. And the truth is I'm ambivalent. On the one hand, I feel like nothing really could be better than if their life was a little better. If, they had a government that treated them right and gave them health care and gave them, everything that a government should. On the other hand, it's not exactly something that I believe is going to happen. From what I've seen so far and from what I've spoken to my Rateb, the guy who works for me, my understanding is that they don't really care about them. And so the declaration of a state, while benefiting the higher levels, the higher ups in the Palestinian Authority, it won't exactly benefit those on the lower levels. Furthermore, the statement that they're trying to make that a Palestinian state should be started in the 67 borders is unacceptable. It's something that they're borders that our Prime Minister has said time and again that they're indefensible. They're ridiculous. Aside from the fact that historically the 1967 borders were borders with Jordan, they weren't borders with the Palestinian people. And so this whole UN thing, is basically, it's ludicrous. It means nothing, and furthermore, as an Israeli, I find it as a slight against any attempt to sort of create a peace in the region. Because if you go to the United Nations to try and declare a state over territory that doesn't belong to you, you're basically saying, I don't need you, and furthermore, I'm hoping you're not going to be here. You're not saying, I want to be a partner, I want to make peace, I want to coexist, which is something that I would really like to happen. I don't see it happening, but I would really like that to happen. Because the truth is, we Israelis, someone said to me recently, we don't like to hurt people, we don't like to occupy, we're not good occupiers. In the sense that we have morals and we don't like treating people poorly, and we just don't.
What are you looking for to come as a result of all of this? What
well,
are you hoping for?
I would really like a situation where, first of all, Israel has security. We don't have to think about it all the time. We don't have to mention it all the time. In fact, if we actually had security, we could move the budget around so that we could invest in other things that are really important to us and don't get enough attention due to the fact that a large percentage of our budget is only homeland security. I would hope that you could create a state, an independent state that actually treats its citizens with respect and so alleviate us of the responsibility of taking care of their needs.
Is this state viable? Is it possible to exist, to coexist with Israel?
Well, lots of things are possible. You know, it's possible that it won't rain in Ireland. It just doesn't happen very often. There is a possibility. Do I think that it's going to happen now? Not really. I don't see it happening. The Palestinians have shown time and again that no matter what we offer them, they're not interested in making peace. They are not interested in creating a coexistence. Even this whole matter of a state is not as important to them as, I don't know if you're, the law of return. They would like to return to their lands, and the return to their lands would basically mean the demise of the state of Israel as a Jewish state.
And that is untenable.
And that is, no, that's not acceptable. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you, Ara Wolf, from the West Bank, city of Ephrata.